Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 184. Today's date is November 2nd, 2024, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Carl. You may know me as Carl Rides. Today we have Aubni and Flazzerty with us from the Let's Create Together server. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Carl has such a great podcast voice. He didn't sound like this literally 30 seconds ago.
Hey, you've got to put on a show for these good people, Duds.
I don't want to be a co-host. I'm a producer. Listen to you.
I have a lot to do, my friend.
Yeah, but you've got the voice for it.
I know. I'm a master of all trades, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. You hear how big his ego is now?
Oh, it's massive. So, Duds, what have you been doing recently?
Lots of stuff. A little bit of it actually consisted of Minecraft this month.
Nice.
Obviously, the Let's Create server, if anyone's familiar with my channel, you've seen I've been producing episodes on that. Trying to produce an episode tonight. But yeah, it's a server where we're getting together to learn Minecraft Create mod. Obviously, Aubni's cheated and has his own single player.
Mwahaha.
Cheater.
It's actually worked out great for us because Aubni's been a great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime we have questions and stuff, he's been able to guide us through there, like where to start, where to go next, what's the next big thing we've got to do. Like, I'm pretty sure he's still sitting there going, guys, it's been like weeks. Where's the crushing wheels? Why do we not have crushing wheels yet?
Hey. I built a lift. Come on.
Carl's whole base is an elevator.
Honestly, the crushing wheels are my next project. If they're not done by like next week.
And we can tell the time now on the server because of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flaz has a giant clock.
And the bamboo farm that I was very impressed that you worked out on stream.
That's thanks to you and all your YouTube tutorial farms. I just looked at yours and was like, oh, okay, that's how that works.
Hey, what can I say? I like my YouTube tutorials. I like to know what I'm doing. I was very impressed that you worked out, when the machine was spinning, that you worked out how to change it so it actually went back and forth properly as you wanted. I was like, you know what? This guy knows what he's doing.
Considering I had people in chat going, no, it'll just do that now. You can't change that. That'll just do that now.
Exactly.
And we worked it out.
Yeah.
And then I thought, I could have done this for the drill last week when I broke that. I mean, when Carl broke that.
Yeah. There's this conspiracy that I broke the drill. I wasn't even on the server when it crashed.
You're the server admin. It crashed. I blame you.
Well, in respect, the reason I thought Carl broke the drill is because I went to get the drill and it was at Carl's lift. So I assumed Carl was the last one to use it. So I assumed Carl broke it.
That's because he put it there.
I've got this awful thing where I put the drill back after I've used it, Duds.
Mm-hmm.
Deary me.
Flaz said that because the drill is sitting at my base right now.
Ah.
Because I've had to go and get it like 3 times to finish digging out this stupid room that I'm making. And I'm too lazy to empty the drill out.
Yeah.
So.
Fair.
Don't worry, I'll make a whole system to empty the drill.
Let's not forget, Flaz called us all the evil people on the server. We were all the evil people and he was the good guy. And now he's over here framing Carl for breaking the drill. Now we're all evil.
You lot keep building these evil-looking bases. and then Aubni goes and builds an evil minigame.
I mean, that's kind of on par for Aubni.
Yeah. That's all he did on Ripple was build games that killed us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or tricked you into killing yourself.
Yep.
All of that.
Good times.
Mm-hmm. I'm working on an episode. I'm getting some XP finally, getting going.
Nice.
I figured out how to move spawners, and I've located 2 spawners, 2 skeleton spawners, by the way.
Ooh, bone meal.
Yep, I'm at the part now where I just need to move these spawners into place, which probably won't go as easy as I'm hoping it will. But yeah, and then it's just kind of decorate the room. I need to get some enchanting tables and stuff ready. The next project after this, I had to use the speed controller, Aubni, that we were planning on using on the upgraded iron farm.
It's okay.
So we'll have to make a new one of those. But yeah, I want to get this XP room done, and then I'd like to upgrade the iron farm because I'm using a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I'm yoinking a stack or 2 at a time.
Oh, yes.
At the iron farm.
Yeah, I feel I should AFK there one of these days to replace everything that I've taken.
Well, we need to get rid of the flint at the iron farm too. So our Create Iron Farm has a byproduct of flint because we're making cobble and then we're grinding it up into gravel and then washing it into iron nuggets and flint. And the flint outnumbers the iron nuggets like 4-1.
Yeah.
So every time I get on the server, first thing I do is run over to the iron farm and empty out the flint. We'll get that worked out at some point. But yeah, Aubni, Flaz, what have you guys been up to? I know we spoiled a little bit with the clock and the evil mini game.
Well, I released a video from said server as we're recording. It was last week, a week ago. Yeah, I made a big evil mini game, which isn't actually that evil, but you'll see. We just need to test it out. You'll see, it's not that bad. And since then, I've been playing in my single player world, so I'm gonna try to alternate between both. And yeah, I'm just making some cool machines, making some steam engines in my single player world. Should be fun. And then I'm gonna come back and take care of everything that you don't take care of.
Get us on your evil game.
Yeah, also that, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna say he's gonna kill us all. That's what he says. Take care of.
Precisely what I meant.
What about you, Flaz? What have you been up to? You've been playing your haunted house map, I believe.
Yeah, I got offered the chance to run a map made by someone from my stream chat because I only found this out recently through watching a podcast that I'm actually considered a streamer now, which I didn't consider myself as because I'm so used to making videos. But yeah, I guess that's what I am now because my videos are so rare. So one of the people from chat that I've previously made content with offered to make me a map. And I said, yeah, go on then. It'll be fun. It was not fun.
It was fun to watch.
It's not fun at all.
It was.
It's a mind-bending, horrible place. And basically, I was spoon-fed all the clues because I'm old and tired and I didn't get how it worked at all. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was frustrating to edit to begin with because there's like 3 hours worth of footage and I wanted to get it down to something that was reasonable. And thanks to a poll in my Discord, it was somewhere between an hour and 30 minutes. And in the end, knowing that I had that benchmark, it actually came quite fun to edit and take things out. And it's doing really well on views, so I'm happy. In between that, I've fought the dragon on my single player stream. And as Carl said, I managed to work out how to make a bamboo farm, which I'm so happy about.
Which is great because bamboo is awesome for like chests and, all that kind of stuff that you don't really want to make with your good wood. You just want to use bamboo for it. So having a good source of that, having that supply is really good and it works really well. And I was on there a little bit earlier and yeah, it's full already. So yeah, loads of good bamboo there. Awesome.
Yeah, I've just got to work out how to do one of those vault storage things that I think's on one of your contraptions.
Oh yeah, I use that on the precision mechanism, which we need for like power things that Duz was talking about earlier for the iron farm.
Speed controller.
Speed controller, that's the one.
Yeah, that thing's cool.
That thing is cool, and I use vault storage on that. So yeah, tune into Flazz's next stream, and he'll be whizzing up another contraption, I'm sure.
Or just smacking my head up against a brick wall, hoping chat will help me.
Either's a good time.
Yeah, I need to get my stream worked out. I don't know what... actually, Carl, I think I figured out what might have happened on my stream. The last 2 streams I've tried, the latency's been massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I have low latency turned on Twitch. It doesn't make much sense why it's so bad. And I was constantly getting just lag by people watching, but I wasn't dropping any frames. So I was very confused what was going on. And then I found out my GeForce needed an update.
Because you run your stream off your GPU, don't you?
I do. So it was running the encoder, but I think the update messed it up. And I only realized this when I got on my laptop, because my laptop runs a lot of stuff through its GPU.
Mm-hmm.
And things were acting up and it popped up. Hey, you have an update. So I went over to my desktop and I went, oh, it's had an update for like 2 months now that I've never done. I think that's what was going on.
Interesting.
Either way, I'll give it one more go. And if for some reason it doesn't work, I'm going to have to redo my entire stream setup.
Come over to the YouTube side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad YouTube streaming because you've already got your audience.
Yeah. And we use it for the Withering effect streams, like when we do them from like KubeCon. and we do them for Minecraft Live. We always do them on YouTube because we don't have a Twitch account for the podcast, and it works really well. I had a few issues with Tango streams recently, like buffering. So Twitch is not my favorite platform at the moment because obviously your stream was 5 minutes behind, his was buffering and stuff. And Flazzer's streams, I've always never had an issue. And other people that I watch on YouTube, like I watch a lot of tech, streams and stuff, and they stream on there, and it's all perfectly fine. So, but you've got that affiliate thing where you get money from the ads, so I know Twitch is kind of good for that kind of stuff.
Well, it's not even really that. All the stuff you say you had trouble with Twitch, I have that same problem for YouTube. And it's been like that for over a year. Like whenever I try to watch Aerington live stream, there's massive latency and it's constant buffering. So if someone live streams on there, I don't even watch it. I wait till it's over and YouTube renders the video file and then I watch the VOD.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. That's why streaming on YouTube scares me, even though I have a viewer base built in.
Mm-hmm.
But if Twitch is also now just doing that, there's no real point in staying on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get maybe $60 a year on the affiliate, so I'm not too worried about that.
Big money.
Yeah, it's not a money thing. It was Twitch was the best streaming platform for a long time. Of course, I still stand by Mixer was the best until they decided to start paying massive creators to come on and stop working on the product.
Yeah.
But should we get into the news real quick?
Yeah, just one thing from me first. I have spent the last week or so updating the Patreon server, getting everything, all my ducks in a row, and getting the Patreon server updated to 121.1, not 121.2, because our plugins don't support it yet. But when they do, we'll update it with that as well. We now support Bedrock. However, I need to make this very clear. We have no official support for PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. This is because you require a version of Bedrock that can connect to third-party servers. This includes the PC version, the Android version, and the Apple iOS version. There are ways to do it, but we don't officially support it because it involves messing with DNS. And it's not officially supported by Mojang on those platforms. But if you want to join the Patreon and use those workarounds, we can't stop you. So if you do want to do that, that's totally up to you. Things like Redstone will work the Java way, and Bedrock scaffold-style bridging is not supported on the server either. We can't guarantee that all Bedrock features will be supported and that world performance will be stable on all hardware. However, we do now have Bedrock support. So if you guys are on PC Bedrock or the mobile version, or you want to use those workarounds for consoles, Patreon server does now support Bedrock, which is really cool. I've been on it with my iPad version of Minecraft that's Bedrock, and it works perfectly fine. All the systems that we have in place to verify users based on the Patreon account all work. Limits on things like the plot world all work, and all that jazz. So yeah, if you guys are on Bedrock and want to join the Patreon server with those caveats in place, then go for it. Patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
Cool.
When you do the editing of this, those caveats, you really want to speed it up so it's like those adverts where it's like terms and conditions.
Terms and conditions apply to Patreon.com/The Withering Effect for details. That kind of jazz.
Perfect.
He didn't speed that up at all. That was literally Carl.
Although our last episode, Duds, live on the CubeCon stage, you did an excellent job of reading those scripts. I was very proud.
Yes!
I was like, he nailed them in front of all those people.
I'm clutch when it counts. Now watch me mess up a simple word.
And our favourite walrus, CubeCam.
Hey! You said he was second.
He is. He's cool, though. He's got a hat.
Omni's going to kill you even harder now.
I don't doubt. Doubt.
Your lift is not going to go up anymore. It's just going to go straight down to the bottom of the world.
I mean, it does that anyway.
That's true, too.
I'm going to put a Carl mode on every game I make.
Turn it up.
Just has lava everywhere and arrows and all that.
It doesn't even let him play. It just drops him to his death at the start of every round. Yeah, so news. We actually had a snapshot release. Bundles of Bravery came out. Ooh, I'm not going to talk much about Bundles of Bravery because it's bundles. They've been around for forever.
Yeah, but you can color them now.
Yeah, you should be able to color a lot of stuff in Minecraft that you can't.
Fair.
Just putting that out there.
I wonder why Mojang stuff don't come on this podcast anymore.
Yeah. Well, see, that's just it. I actually really like the snapshot that just came out. They found a great way to incorporate wanting to go to the Pale Gardens. I think eye blossoms look awesome. That's super cool. And exactly what people were asking for. And they wanted some flowers in their garden, and now you have them. And you can get 2 different dye types depending on what time of day you pick the eye blossom.
That's cool.
Which, again, is very cool. Resin, I like the idea of resin. Even the resin block is pretty cool. But the resin brick, that's an ugly texture.
Yeah.
I don't know any other way to say it. It's an ugly texture. I don't like it. And that's kind of a personal. It looks slimy.
Well, it is resin.
Yeah, resin is slimy.
Not when it's hardened into bricks.
What did you say to me the other day? You said, what is their obsession with orange lately?
Yeah, you look back, it's orange and pink. Those 2 colors, for some reason, seem to be in just about every update. And I was trying to figure out why. But because if you look at the new pale oak, yeah, it's a nice white texture, but it's really pink. It's got the slightest pink hue to it.
I'll take it.
I know Carl will take it. I'm not a fan of it. I would rather use quartz because it's got that slight blue hue to it, or gray hue. And I prefer that one. That's just me. But yeah, I can't not see super light pink when I look at, kind of like how Carl can't see anything but purple when looking at Blackstone.
Oh yeah, that thing is not black, guys. Sorry. Call Deep State Blackstone and Blackstone Deep Slate and we'd be fine. But don't call that thing Blackstone when it's got purple in it. I'll die on this hill. Along with my concrete stairs and slabs.
See? Yeah.
I would pay for concrete stairs and slabs.
There you go, Mojang. Come on.
We will pay for the next update.
I will pay for it if it had concrete stairs and slabs in it, and gunmetal wood.
And vertical slabs.
This is where I think create is going to be bothersome, because we're playing on just create and create deco. Is that right, Aubni?
Yep.
Just those 2 mods. And basically deco is just a supporting mod that adds a couple of prettier blocks to the game. And it's amazing. I'm like, these are the things I want in vanilla Minecraft. Why can't we have these in vanilla Minecraft? And what we get is the resin brick block.
Yeah.
Which really only goes with shroomlights.
I said this to Aubni last week or the week before when he was on, and I said, I don't think I can go back to vanilla now.
Well, if they come out and they let us dye the resin blocks, because you can add color to resin, that would help a lot. Hopefully they don't do with terracotta. When you color the terracotta, the colors are off because it's going under the premise you're using the original terracotta color plus this new dye color. And that's why the colors don't, black is really brown and white's really pink. So I would like to be able to dye those colors and have them actually be the colors I dye. I know we get that with concrete, but if you're not going to give us concrete stairs and slabs, this would be a good way to make up for that, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't like the slimy, glistening part of the texture on the bricks. I just don't like it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed with the new bricks and walls and things, but I do like how you can put blobs of resin on blocks.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah.
I am liking that. That's really nice. I wish they'd do that with more things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This snapshot I actually like way more than the Minecon Live presentation. I mean, I feel they add way more on this one than that, except for the textures. I don't like that. And I don't like how bees get poisoned with eye blossoms. I'm going to make a stand here. If we couldn't have fireflies because frogs might eat them and die, then we can't have eye blossoms killing bees.
I mean, let's face it, that wasn't the reason.
I know. I just wish Mojang would just say that wasn't the reason.
It kind of helps explain why there's no creatures there, though. Because if even bees accidentally make their way in there and they get poisoned, it explains why there's no other animals there.
That's true.
Well, I would like to see the bees act like hoglins with the blue mushroom. where they just avoid it.
Mm.
So if they're flying along and they see an eye blossom, they just immediately 180 and go the other direction.
Yeah, but then BAI pathfinding would have to be decent.
Hey, they've actually been working on the BAI. They have been. So there's that.
I tell you, we'll be happy though, Jimbo. If those bees are getting poisoned, he's going to be well happy.
He would just make a forest of just straight wither roses and eye blossoms.
He so would as well. Is that it for the news?
Yeah, I mean, we can go into depth, and we probably will here at basically the end of the year, or the start of the year on our next episode. But we really want to talk about Create. So we're going to kind of just briefly do the news, and we'll come back to it at a later date.
Let's move on to polls. Last episode, we put up a poll up on YouTube and Spotify. Obviously, we were live from Create. We were live from KubeCon. So I basically asked, have you guys heard of Cubed or visited it? And as usual, our Spotify audience and our YouTube audience are very different. Basically, our YouTube audience were basically split between heard of it, never gone, visited once or twice, love it every year. And our Spotify community was basically like, never heard of it till now, and heard of it but never gone. So you Spotify people, get on Cube 2025. It's going to be a great time. We'll be there again. Duds is in charge of designing our booth for next year.
What?
Yep.
This is news to me.
I have created him a plot in the plot world for him to design it on.
Oh, boy.
So I want to see what he comes up with for a cube base. So I'm giving you a lot of time.
I got a full year.
Maybe 11 months until the next KubeCon to come up with an idea. So, yeah.
That's such a great way to get Duds to do it. Just announce it while you're being recorded on the podcast.
Yeah, he didn't tell me this at all until right now.
That's the best way to get him to do anything, is just put it on the show.
Oh, that's great.
Come on.
You've got a year.
You act like I don't do nothing. Do I not constantly offer, hey, Carl, do you need help? Carl, I can do this for you. Do you need help? And you're like, no, I've got it.
I've got it. But this thing you can do.
We expect screenshots every podcast now just to see how it's going over the next year.
That's not going to happen, because then I'm just going to place one block a day just to mess with Carl.
Why not?
It's a 15 by 15 by 11 square. We'll get there. Don't you worry.
I've seen TikTok videos where people are just doing 1 block a day builds.
We'll get there. You guys get on the KubeCon bandwagon, because it's a really good event for charity as well. Supports special effect and the tree planting thing that I can't think of. But they raise thousands for people who struggle with gaming, and the charity makes like special game controllers for them for disabled people to help them play video games just like we do. So it's a really good cause and a really good event as well. So yeah, KubeCon next year.
All right, before I talk about some experiences I've had with Create and we ask our guests, here's Jimbo with a reminder of how you can get a discount on your own Minecraft server from Bisect Hosting.
You can get a discount on your own Minecraft server through our partnership with Bisect Hosting, offering our community 25% off any game server for their first month. This is for new clients only. Visit bisecthosting.com/TWE and use the code TWE at checkout to receive the discount.
All right, Create. How do we want to start?
I want to ask Flaz first.
No.
Yeah. Aubni's got a load of experience with Create. We've seen a bit of Create. Flaz, what made you want to join a Create server, I think is the first question I want to ask you.
Well, I'd seen some of the bigger content creators out there messing around, like some of the hermits were messing with it. It seemed like a lot of fun. And Redstone is the logic of it. I really don't get how one block Howard can move another block 3 blocks away. It baffles me. But with the Create being cogs, levers, that's kind of what I like with technology.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea that you move a lever and something happens, cogs turning in the background. I think I remember also seeing on one of Tango's where you can get light bulbs that light up with words in or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant. I love that. And I think it melds really well with vanilla, because a lot of mods, they seem overpowered or they make things super simple. I've said it on my stream a few times that some of the mods that I've seen, they'd literally walk up, right-click a villager, then walk around with the villager in their pocket. And then they can just stick him in a bit of glass, throw a zombie in there as well, and all of a sudden they got an iron farm in less than 2 minutes. That's not a challenge. That's easy and overpowered, whereas Create just seems to be a nice blend and goes really well with vanilla. And then Aubni asked me, and he's like, well, if Aubni's involved, then I've got to...
Oh.
A good example of that is this XP spawner room I'm doing right now. We can do a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to do in vanilla, including picking up spawners. Matter of fact, one of the early seasons of Comicraft, before I joined Ripple and Channel 64, we had Silk Touch spawners, so you could pick them up and move them. And you're right, it is incredibly easy and OP. We can move them and create, but it's still a lot of work because you have to create a minecart machine and physically push it. You can see in the episode, I try picking it up with the wrench. And it says Mystical Forest doesn't allow you to do this or something like that. So I still have to build a water elevator to get it up to where I want to. It's going to take me a couple hours just to move this thing 80 blocks.
Yeah, to me, that sounds vanilla-y.
It really feels it.
I mean, yes, you can't do that in vanilla, but the fact that you've got to go through all that to accomplish it is a lot better than just silk touching it and walking away.
Yeah, it's very much a great reward for hard work because you feel like the work does not outweigh the reward and the reward does not outweigh the work you have to put into it. And that's the way it's been with everything I've done in Create. It feels like it should be vanilla.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the big thing.
Like it doesn't make things easier. It just allows for more things like moving spawners. But yeah, it's balanced. You gotta work for it. You gotta do something.
Going back to the bamboo farm, I've made bamboo farms in vanilla and, a couple of pistons, an observer, collection system with a bit of water. It's done. It's easy. We've done it 1,000 times. But the thrill I got from actually working out, for me, a new way to harvest bamboo in such a radically different way, yet vanilla feeling, because I'm still using a minecart to do it and tracks. It was amazing. I really liked that. And it's something that I'm missing in Minecraft now because everything's been done. You look for a way to do a farm in vanilla and there'll be 70, 80, 100 videos out there that's showing you the exact same farm as everybody else as if they've just invented it. Whereas with Create, I'm not looking at videos or anything like that, although someone did post one in my Discord earlier. So working it out, it just brings a whole new feeling, that original feeling that I had with Minecraft in the early days.
Yeah.
I've said to Duds before that, I wish I could go back to a time where I didn't understand Minecraft and start again, because those few times when I first got the game and started to learn everything was the best. You learn something new about redstone and you'd be like, oh my god, that's so cool. And that's exactly how I feel with Create.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a few things. I've made the lift, I've made the steak farm, and then you learn about something new and you're like, it can do that. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was missing. I've said on this podcast many times that the updates are not making me want to play the game.
They're not intriguing.
Yeah, where Create is. Redstone links.
Mm-hmm.
Before I made that elevator, I didn't know what they were. And I was like, it's wireless redstone.
Mm-hmm.
So you like redstone links? That's what I'm getting from that.
I love them.
He just keeps talking about them.
But that's the thing. The drill machine. I didn't know you could do that. I was like, my only plan for Create when Duds mentioned about the server was, I want to make a lift. I've seen people make lifts. It looks like a cool way to enter a base. And then Aubni made the drill, and I was like, you can make a drill, and it'll drill the blocks for you. You don't have to use a pickaxe. What is this witchcraft?
Oh, no. While I was doing research for that spawner room, I found there's a way you can give a sword to a grabber, and it will punch the mobs for you and kill them. I have not implemented that into our room, but you best bet I left room to implement it in later.
Yeah, you literally have a player block. A block that's a player. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how the steak farm works, where you have a farmland that's producing wheat and seeds. So the harvester goes round in a circle, and harvests everything. And then the robotic arm comes down, takes the wheat, puts it in the chests for the cows, and then the deployer automatically feeds them. So they're always breeding, empty cramming, and then being cooked by a campfire and a fan, and then into the chest, leather and steak for us all to eat. And then the seeds are being picked up by that same mechanical arm and being put in a composter to make, it's a slow supply of bone meal, but it's a supply of bone meal nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just so cool that you can take that one farm, that wheat farm, and turn it into food, turn it into leather, turn it into bone meal. And in such a way that there's movement. The harvesters are spinning round, the mechanical arm is moving. I love those. They move all over the place. It's great. And in that little area, it's probably like maybe a 15 by 10 area, produces all that stuff for us. And in such an intuitive way, like Flaz was saying, Create is so intuitive compared to normal redstone. Normal redstone doesn't make any sense if you don't know what everything does. But Create does. You have a power supply, you have your cogs, you have your moving mechanisms. It all makes sense. And I think that's what's made me play. I haven't played Minecraft properly in probably about 18 months, 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, the last couple of weeks, I've been on that Create server a lot. As we can see by the community area.
I very rarely get on that server and not see something new.
I like in the Create mod how if you don't know what something does, it's got that inbuilt instructions videos.
Yes.
They're really helping me so much.
Yeah.
The ponder menu, and they strongly suggest you use roughly enough item, or there's another one for forge. But yeah, that too, to show you how to make stuff. It makes things so much more intuitive and easy to figure out how to make stuff.
But everything feels, like you were saying before, everything feels vanilla. I don't feel like I'm playing modded. And that was always my problem with modded. It always felt modded. But Create doesn't. It feels like an extension of vanilla. It feels like vanilla plus.
Definitely, yeah.
And the fact that vanilla redstone interacts with the Create stuff as well. Like Dutz was saying earlier, he has, this might have been off record, I don't know, but he's built something, and him and Aubni were friendly discussion over the best way to do it. And Dutz has ended up using vanilla redstone to do something, and Aubni was like, well, you could do it using this in Create, and Dutz like, yeah, but it makes sense just to do this because it works. And I think that's great that there's so many different ways to get to the same result, either if you use the Creator or you use your vanilla knowledge. It all works seamlessly together.
Yeah, and there's some new redstone components as well. There's at least 4-5 new things, even more if you count wireless redstone. But like, you got stuff for like toggleable switches, kind of a repeater variants kind of thing.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to show you then. It's great.
So, like, the way I'm seeing is I view redstone as electrical circuits, because that's how I was taught. Electrical circuits was redstone. So I don't see a repeater as a repeater. I see it as a capacitor.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see a comparator as, I see it as a diode switch and stuff like that. To see Create, where everything's mechanical. It is gears, it is pulleys, and I was able to do some fun mixing of the two components for the XP room, and I was like, wow, okay, this needs to be, if you're not playing modded, give Create a chance. Because I know we talked about earlier, mods, they didn't interest me. Mods, again, like Flaz, it felt like it was a way to make things too OP, and it was a collect them all type thing for me. You have these massive digital storage systems just so you can collect everything in the game. And it made no sense to me why you would want to do that. But Create feels like hey, this is how you can explore the same territory in a new and interesting way. And that's what I love about it. I don't feel a rush to collect all the Create things. It's very much let's take your way of thinking and rotate it 90 degrees because now it's a gear. It's been a lot of fun. It's challenging.
Yeah.
Because there's some things you have to break your mindset from. Like, when it comes to redstone, you do everything horizontally. even when you're going vertically, you have to have horizontal platforms to place the redstone on. So everything's like that. Well, in the XP thing, I realized you can place the belts at a 90-degree angle and they still function the same. Using a gearbox, you can then have your shafts turned vertically and process power sideways. And it's like, holy cow, that was like a huge poof moment for me. I was like, okay, we're just getting started.
Yeah, you got to think in 3D now.
Yeah.
We are just getting started, though.
Yeah, I mean, we really are.
We've built so many cool things on that server already, and it's just scratching the surface, and that's what I love.
Mm-hmm.
My head has got round the create way now. The first night we were on the server, I was sat there thinking, I am never going to understand how this works.
You remember how long we spent on that vanilla iron farm? just to realize if we were to do the create one, it took Aubni and I maybe a half hour.
Yeah.
And it's worked ever since, whereas the vanilla one broke within 5 minutes.
That was a disappointing evening.
Yep.
It was a great learning evening.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, the three of us running around like headless chickens trying to get zombies get into place. And I could just imagine Aubni was just stood there going, they will learn.
Yep. They will fail and they will learn their lesson.
Said like a good teacher.
I kind of, you know how when people are doing that menacing thing, they like stroke their beard? I imagine Aubni does it by like stroking his tusks.
Precisely. That's the exact image you need to have. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Someone please do some fan art of that. That's going to make my day.
That would be great. I want to see that. Like a little animated GIF.
Stroking his tusks.
Yeah.
Love it, love it.
I want to ask Aubni, because obviously you started way before any of us. What got you into Create?
Same thing as everyone has said already. Never had any interest in modded.
Mm-hmm.
But I would watch content creators playing it, and I thought it was super cool to see it. ZF in particular, with his own unique creativity. And then I got an opportunity with some friends, Callie and Mini Wheats. They had their own server, and they reset it to play Create on it. And I asked if I could join. I'd known them for a little while, so why not? Yeah, I joined the server, had a lot of fun. Made some mini games, but eventually they got to other projects, and I kind of sort of ended up, playing by myself. So that's when I eventually started my single player world instead. It was a bit easier to manage.
Mm-hmm.
To get back to the actual question, what got me into Create is it's seeing the motion, seeing everything moving. Because in vanilla Minecraft, the only things that really move are mobs, like villagers, and that's why I think people building big towns with villagers, free roaming the entire place, I think that's quite a popular thing. But other than that, there's nothing much. There's nothing like that except like pistons. But then again, like it's very limited. And yes, seeing all that motion, and as you all said, like it feels vanilla. And one thing that really convinced me to try it is that, as you said, it doesn't feel modded. And I think one of the important things in that is the way things look. And I'm not trying to like attack any like modders, anyone that makes mods, but oftentimes they look different from vanilla, like the textures, the way they're made.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's just that like it's a programmer who wanted to make a big sword, and they made what they could because they're not a pro pixel art artist.
Yeah, they're great at programming, but they're not a texture artist.
Yeah, and sometimes it just feels a bit different. But with Create, I feel like it really follows the I think it's called the artistic direction of vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Really feels like the person making these textures studied how things look in regular vanilla Minecraft and made it to have the same aesthetic, so that it blends in. So that it blends in well with vanilla, and that's something that I really, really like about it.
Yeah.
Like honestly, at some point I had the hypothesis that it was actually a side project from Mojang. Like, there was a sub team of Mojang who made that mod and published it under a different name, but it's actually like made by the real team. I have very high doubts about the veracity of that idea, but still, it feels like that.
Yeah, like honestly, if you were to come out and tell me that the team from Create said, you know what, we're tired of waiting on Hytale to do their own thing. We're going to do our own thing to go up against Minecraft. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Like the flawlessness in this mod, very rarely do we have any kind of glitching or breakage or anything like that. It just works.
Well, there is stuff, but yeah, it's still rare, yeah.
I mean, saying that you wouldn't be surprised if it was a team from Mojang making it, that's very high praise for the people who make Create, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't hide that idea. It's, blends in so well.
Yeah. For me, what drew me to Create was exactly what you were talking about, Aubni, though. It looked vanilla, and the movement. The fact that you could turn your head anywhere and see something moving. Because that's what's missing from Minecraft. Minecraft feels very dead sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You have to very much structure your builds, and even a standing still build can be made to look like it has movement, but it's all just a perception of the eye. Whereas in Create, you can actually have movement. You don't have to trick yourself into thinking there's movement.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that. And then the fact that it takes what you already know and turns it on its side. And then, like you said, the textures look like they're made from a texture artist at Mojang. Even Deco. Deco is a completely separate mod. We've just added on to Create to kind of get the full effect. And it's like, holy cow. Why aren't these blocks already in the game?
I'm obsessed with the new light.
Yep.
Like the andesite lamps and stuff.
Yes, you are.
I'm obsessed.
They look really cool.
Yeah, you saying about the movement, I built weeks it took me to build a windmill in my single-player vanilla world.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that haunts me about it is that the windmill doesn't turn. And I am so tempted to recreate it in the Create world just so I can see it turning.
Yeah.
No.
One of the very first things you've built, Flaz, is a giant clock with movable hands. It's like, holy cow. Like, I just walked out of my hole because it was a hole at the time. And I was just like, what is that?
Yeah, I saw the clockwork bearing in whatever the mod is where you can see all the blocks. And I was like, is that what I think it is? So then that was my project then. I had to get to that point so I could see if it was what I thought it was. And yeah, when it turned out it worked like a clock, that's it now. I've got to build a clock.
Mm-hmm.
I do admire your kind of like, I'm not going to look at tutorials. I'm not going to do what I do and go on YouTube and go, how do I make a lift? I respect so much that you see something in Create and go, right, how do I make that do what I want it to do? And you work it out and you spend your streams working it out. I find that brilliant that you kind of have that mentality that you want to work it out for yourself rather than be told how to do it. I think that's really cool.
That's a big thing that needs mentioned. Flaz does play offline a little bit, but for the most part, he's doing everything on stream. So there's an audience watching him learn.
And laughing at him.
Yes, stream brain is a thing.
That's high stakes. As someone who's done the streaming thing and stuff, like having someone look over your shoulder as you're doing it.
I can't pretend. I can't pretend I'm an expert. If I went off and watched a tutorial and then tried to recreate that live, I'd mess that up. And so there's me trying to pretend to be an expert, and then you see me mess it up. That would be worse for me.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'm going in saying, I don't know this game. The server's called Let's Create Together. You're my chat.
Mm-hmm.
Let's create together. Let's work this all out together.
And that's exactly what the server was meant to do. I love it.
It's great that I do have some people in the chat that do know what they're doing. Occasionally, Aubni drops in and he mentions a little thing like he did in the last stream that I didn't even know existed.
And then wanders off.
Yeah, but that was fine because he's like, use this this is what it is. I'm off to make a cup of tea, and then leaves me to work out how it works, which is great. It's perfect.
That is not what happened. I said, use this. You want me to come over and show you how it works. And you said no.
But then I've got people in there that think they know what they're talking about, and it turns out that they don't.
That's me.
But it's all part of it for me, because I really used to like getting my computer, going around a friend's house, connecting to a LAN, and working stuff out together. We don't do that so much nowadays because we've got the internet. So that's what I want my streams to be, is us all working it out together. And when it works, I'm happy. Chat says static. Carl's in disbelief.
I mean, I can't lie. Yes.
I do one thing and he goes, I can't believe that actually worked.
I was shocked.
Thanks, mate. Thanks.
I was like, it works? What? I was expecting this to be a disaster. What's happening?
Oh, sorry to disappoint.
I was very impressed that you managed to make a blaze farm without... I know this was on your other streams, but like the fact that you managed to make a blaze farm without dying.
And then I go on to let's create it and I die straight away.
Several times to a drill.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
I don't think I've died as much on a Minecraft server as I have on Let's Create Together.
Yeah, but our Nether is evil.
It wasn't even the Nether. I died like a good 6 times before we even got to the Nether. I remember trying to run from a witch who like tossed the potion like a Major League Baseball player and was able to hit me in the back of the head and it killed me. I was like, what is going on here?
Maybe she's built a create contraption to help her.
Yeah, catapult. Ooh, can we build trebuchets? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Because if you use plows, that's what I'm using in my minigame. With a plow, you can kick stuff, but I don't think it can. I don't think it can move blocks, though. I think it's just entities.
That's what I'm thinking. I remember looking at your mini game, and I'm like, Oh, I wasn't gonna shoot blocks. I was gonna shoot Carl.
Oh yeah, that's gonna work. Absolutely. A Carl Tapult.
If TNT's falling, isn't that an entity?
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, it is.
Uh-huh. So you could have the TNT fall, you could have it spin around, hit it as it falls, and then from your base you can shoot to the other bad guy across the lake.
Hey!
Bond villain.
I've just got my sheep in order.
I know, I went and I stole some wool from you earlier.
I've not got all the colours yet. I kind of miscounted my sheep.
Oh, I needed white wool, because either way, I was just going to turn it into string, because I needed to make a bow for a dispenser.
Fair, yeah. I have clipped them many times to go and make string from them.
I had 2 stacks earlier today. I stole some. No, I stole like 1 piece of wool.
The quick 5-minute sheep farm has got 14 white wool when I went on the server last.
Yeah, but it's more fun saying I stole wool.
Ah, that's why I had 14 then. It's not stealing because it's a community farm. It's fine.
Exactly. It's socialism.
I actually say that in this episode. Like, hey, I'm putting it here because this is the community session. You don't have to go ask anyone to go use this. If it's in this section, just go use it.
I mean, if it's in my base, go use it. I don't care.
Well, and I mentioned that. I go, we all are pretty good, like, go take what you want, but I didn't want anyone to, like, run into someone's base and steal steal stuff that they were going to have to use on a project they were just getting ready to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we pretty much know server etiquette.
Yeah. We've been doing this long enough.
Yeah.
It's great. It's fun.
What's the one project you're looking forward to doing the most on Let's Create Together? Not everyone talk at the same time.
Let's start with Flaz.
Thanks. I really want to decorate my clock so it looks steampunky, because that's something that I've always liked the look of, but I can't seem to manage it in vanilla. But we've got pipes, cogs, turny things. I've got lots of ideas of how I want that clock to turn out. I didn't realise this, but it seems that I lean more to the building side of Minecraft. I thought I was more just rubbish at everything. But coming onto the Create server, yes, the mechanisms are fantastic and I love building the farms, but I want that clock to be something that people look at and go, wow, that's actually amazing.
I can't wait to see where that goes in future, because I already do that. I already walk out and the first thing I do is go check the time. Continue on with my day.
Love it. I just want to see the create ways of building farms, I think, is my kind of main thing. I've done my lift now. I'm going to stop going on about it. But seeing the new ways of like me and you, Duds, have done so many like farms on stream and stuff. Like we've done a Guardian farm together and other things as well, Blaze farm together on stream. And I want to see how the create way of making all these farms.
Yeah.
The more efficient way, because normal Minecraft, most farms are not the most efficient way of making them. And I think Create has so many different kind of mechanisms and pieces of equipment that you can use to make a really efficient farm. And that's what I'm kind of homing in on. Like, I want to see how to make all of these vanilla farms that we need. We need these farms, but in the Create way.
Yeah.
Aubni's just coming up with new ways to kill us all in entertainment value.
Precisely, yeah. Minigames. I've been doing minigames for a while, and it's fun to get new mechanics. I was kind of feeling a bit uninspired for vanilla minigames lately. And yeah, we get new mechanics. I've been playing in single player for a while now, so I can't really make any minigames. So like exploring those mechanics now to kill you in entertaining ways is gonna be great. I already got a few ideas for stuff that couldn't work in vanilla, but that will be yeah.
Love it. What about you, Duds? What kind of projects are you looking forward to?
For me, it's one project, and it was one project that led to me starting this server. And I wanted a monorail or a train or something to connect everyone's base. I specifically looked for a seed like it is now, so everyone would, kind of be forced to live near each other, but give each other enough space where you're not on top of each other, and we could still fill in missing areas. That's the one bad thing about playing on an SMP is a lot of times you'll build somewhere and then you move on, and you have some spaces that just don't get touched. And with here, I think we're far enough away to not really be on top of each other, but we're close enough where we can touch all the spaces.
Yeah.
Put our fingerprints on it and make everything seem whole. And we're very much in the very scratched surface state, but you can already tell that this could be something very special. And I'm excited to get to that train stage because one of my plans is to have everyone design their own car.
Nice.
When I do the train, I'm going to make the train stop so it stops with your car in your station.
Very cool. I've already extended my lift.
You have.
To a train station platform. I'm ready.
Yep, getting up to Carl's train station platform is going to be a little hard.
There you go, Flaz. You can spend a stream building your cart for the train.
Have you ever seen any of my streams? That sounds like 3 weeks worth of streaming there.
It'll be cool. There's so many cool things for the trains as well. There's so many like train specific blocks, and they look so cool when they're all put together. You can design like little seating areas, like first class, second class, economy. Like there's so many like different tiers of blocks for the trains. It's super cool, and I can't wait to design a cart for that.
Yeah, I assume I'll have to do kind of a model, like not a fully completed, just like a box that says, hey, I need you to put this here, and this needs to line up in this way. But other than that, you can change everything else.
Even then, we could make any sort of carriage, and it would all be fine. It would all line up, trust me. Don't even need to have clear outlines.
Teacher says it'll be fine.
I mean, don't make it a 100-block long carriage. That won't work.
That's what I was worried about. I was like, well, if Carl makes his carriage 10 and I make mine 25, then we have issues.
How can I make this not work?
Challenge accepted.
Oh no.
Flaz is like, how can I break this?
How easy will it be to make it not work?
It's not a case of how can I do it? It's like, how often will I do it?
At the end of his stream is, well, that's someone else's problem now.
Yeah, he just goes and puts it back at Carl's base.
I mean, that's what he does. I'm in the stream, and he's like, I'm just going to leave this here. It's your problem now. What? Get blamed for all sorts. Okay, any final thoughts on Create before we wrap up the show?
If you've ever thought about getting into modded, but you're a bit worried about it because you're not sure if you give Create a go. It's really good.
Yes.
Agree.
All right. I think that's going to do it for today's show. But before I have Carl read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aerington, Aubni, FragileRock, Jman, Loki, and the Meme Bug. If you too would like to get access to it, there we go, Carl. You praised me on reading the script, so now I've messed up.
Hey, it's not live this time. Just read it again.
Just blame Carl.
If you too would like to get access to extra content and exclusive benefits, including our Minecraft server powered by Bisect Hosting, please consider joining at patreon.com/The Withering Effect.
And if you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com, message us on X, or join our Discord, where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All those links are in the show notes.
This show's been brought to you by our digital producer Carl and myself, and the amazing guests we have. Thank you, Aubni. Thank you, Flazzerty. The amazing music you hear throughout the show was created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been so awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm thinking about getting a server. I might click that.
But we don't get the information.
Well, I mean, Jimbo will tell you, but you have to listen back.
I'm listening.
You have to listen to the show in its entirety to help our watch time.
I'll just listen to a past one.
He don't want to listen to himself.
Gosh, no, it's horrendous.
Well, joke's on you. Carl is now going to use you for the outro mess up. Blooper. That's it. Blooper is the word I was looking for. Crap, that might be the new blooper.
Oh, anything I say is a blooper.